I'm Tracey. So about 3 weeks ago, Em asked me if I was free on the 24th of January. Here was me dreaming that she would come over and cook me a lovely dinner. So I said, yes, I'm free. Tuesday afternoons are quite hectic for us because we go swimming. And the next day, I got an email from Dave. Will you speak at the next YesStories? And I was like, the scamming couple. How do you say no to the SayYesMore? So, yeah, if anyone's got any hints, send them my way, because today has been a bit of an adventure. Went swimming, roped in my mum to help out, and yeah, we're here. We made it. Not for the beginning, but we're here. So, as you can probably tell, I'm super nervous, so bear with me. I don't edit the best magazine. I haven't stand-up paddleboarded the Ganges. I don't lead adventures around the world, and I certainly don't do 1,000-mile journeys, but apart from in a plane. But I walked 60 kilometres once, and that was quite an achievement. So, you know, there's a few things. But anyway, my yes is all about becoming a mum, despite missing one of the vital ingredients. So, about 5 years ago, my mum mentioned to me that perhaps I should think about freezing my eggs. I was like, why would I do that? I was 35. I felt like I was 25. It was, you know, I think deep down it did plant a seed, but I kind of ignored it. Within 6 months, I think I was on a plane to Sierra Leone doing some voluntary work out there. A year later, I was moved down to Brighton for a 12-month contract. You know, I had no concept of what settling down meant or anything like that. So, but it wasn't until I was on the tube one day and I saw a sign for advertising the fertility show. So I thought, I wonder what it means to freeze eggs. I wonder what it, you know, let's investigate. So I braved going back to my mum and saying, I'm thinking of going to this fertility show. Do you want to come with me? So we went, and my golly, it was an eye-opener. It was quite interesting. I have to say, I learned about something I'd never heard of before called co-parenting. It's a bit like online dating. If you want to know more about online dating, there's a great book called Date. So I decided that I wasn't going to say yes more to this co-parenting. That was a big fat no. But it was interesting finding out about all these other options that were available if I desired. So yeah, the seed just was there, minding my own business, and along comes tall, dark, handsome stranger who whisks me off my feet. This wasn't part of my plan. What do I do? Luckily, I really didn't want to derail my plans. Not that I'd really made plans, but I was thinking about it, and I wanted to make sure that he didn't interfere with. Well, he could interfere if he wanted to, but. I didn't want him to stop me. I didn't want him to stop me, so without knowing it, he actually cemented my thoughts for what I wanted to do. And although he didn't last, I kind of was a bit more aware of what I wanted to do when he left and moved back to Australia. So I kept true to my dreams, and then there was another show that I came across called the Alternative Parenting Show, and it was a little bit more up my street. I was meant to go with the lovely Emma over there, but she came up with some daft excuse. I think she was stuck in Sierra Leone and the plane wouldn't take her quick enough or something. So it meant that this show that I built myself up to go and see, I had to go on my own. I think it was like Friday evening that she let me know, and the show was the next day, so I didn't have a lot of time to find someone else who actually knew about my thoughts, because I hadn't gone public with this. It was just a few close friends had known about this. So it was a really big deal for me to go on my own, but I did. I braved it, and I went, asked lots of questions, spoke to lots of people, and I walked out knowing what my next steps were, which was really good. It was a really positive thing for me. So the next steps was to go and have a female MOT. Now I won't go into lots of detail what that involves, I'm sure you've got imaginations, but the one thing we discovered at the end of that was that in my head I thought, I've got another 5 years to go. You know, people are having babies well into their 40s now. Janet Jackson's just had one at 50 or something. You know, I've got loads of time. But the consultant that I spoke to basically said, no, you don't. If you want to do this, you've got to do it now. And I said, no. And next cycle she was hinting at, and I was thinking, oh, okay. So I went home and digested that information. I thought, oh, next cycle. But it's okay because it's only a 30% chance of it working first time. So it could be, you know, a few cycles later as well. So, but I was still missing that vital ingredient. So one Saturday evening, I invited a few close friends round with my mum and my sister. Wine, food, giggles. It was a swimmers selection soiree. We had a good giggle. We worked out what was important, what wasn't important. And I have to say, that week afterwards, while I was digesting all the information that we discussed and going through what was available, what wasn't, it was one of the most stressful weeks of my entire life. But eventually I narrowed it down. We had Wildcard, we had Jazz Hands, and we had Diamond Driller. By the end of the week, I was on quite a tight deadline because you had to order it in advance. You had to be there. And, so eventually, I settled for Wildcard. So, one thing that I always refer to this very, very kind man as a donor. I do not refer to him as a dad, because I'm hoping one day we might find a dad. But in the meantime, this very kind man who hopefully knows about his existence by now is a donor, not a dad. I will later on encourage him to go meet him, but yeah, he's a donor. Anyway, 2 months later, I was pregnant, which was, you know, so much for the 30% success rate. It was all happening a little bit fast, but Bob the Buck started to grow. And we started even more adventures. I took part in our local hospices fundraising Strictly Come Hospice in front of a theatre full of people. Went camping. I've seen a few of you before on a couple of the campouts that I did. One of them was extremely funny. I needed a lot of help getting into a very narrow sleeping bag. And make sure if you're ever in that situation yourself, you've got some friends to help you get in. I did park runs, and I did one at 35 weeks pregnant, which was a challenge. And then Bob the Bump knows how to make an entrance. On the 10th of August last year, after about 40 hours of fun, let's call it. Not only was it during the Olympics, and for those of you who know me, the Olympics mean the world to me, so it was so fantastic that it was during the Olympics. It was, I don't know, it was about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. Emma was frantically trying to get the live streaming of YesStories so that we could watch it. I was a bit drugged up, but I do remember that I think we got it as well.
We did.
But then the consultant or someone medical came in and said, we're going to have to give you an emergency C-section. So grab a nappy, grab a hat, and let's go. Okay, so sorry, we turned off YesStories, so we don't know what happened. At 9:29 on the 10th of August, little Isaac appeared. So not only was he, so Emma, was my birth partner, and what a great birth partner she was, so I have to say thank you very much for that. 10 weeks later, we were at YesStories, and this gorgeous couple stole my baby. But we've now got his passport. His passport arrived last week. We've got plans. looking into our first overseas trip, which is great. We just bought YesStories tickets. So I just wanted to sort of finish with a couple of things really about the importance of surrounding yourself with people who come up with reasons why you should do something, as opposed to with people who come up with reasons why you shouldn't do something, because I found that really helpful. And when I did tell people, everyone was a lot more supportive than I ever imagined they would be, which is fantastic. And I just want to finish on one other thing. The Yes Tribe is really awesome. It's full of friends that you haven't met yet, and so much so that last night, the lovely Claire over there, who I hadn't met, we found each other on the Yes Tribe Facebook group. She lives less than 5 minutes down the road, and we were chatting, and I kind of jokingly said, "Oh, I'm stressing about this," and she said, "Do you want me to come over?" And I said, "Yes." And last night she came over and really just helped me put this together, because it was a bit crazy before she came along. So I just want to say a big thank you to Claire as well. You know, I let some stranger into my house. But, I just hope there's lots of great years ahead of us together. So thank you very much, and thank you for listening.
I just love it. Has anyone got
I want one yet.
But I love it.
Has anyone got any questions they'd love to ask? Emma, yeah.
Would you do it again?
My heart is saying yes, and my head is saying no. So I'm a bit like.
I'm free.
You're booked. Yeah, I'm a bit torn. I love every minute of it, but that outnumbers the parents. And I think it narrows down the two of us can get up to so much together. As soon as there's another one, it might
More fun.
Yes. It's definitely being thought about, but
anyone else got a question?
My friend's sister's doing the same, but she miscarried, unfortunately. But what advice would you give to someone who's supporting? So people who support you, what advice would you give?
Well, in the lead up, I'm not sure. Just be there for her. When she's had the baby, take food round. just go round, make your own drink, I didn't have time to host when people came round, and I'd be lucky to eat. I've got to the stage now where I can, but those first few weeks, for any of you who are parents would know, those first few weeks are so challenging through lack of sleep and all sorts. But yeah, definitely take food so that you can feed her and yourself, and just let her go and have a shower or something. You know, just some basic things like that, and then just be there offer babysitting so that they can come on nights like this. Because when even if you're two parents separated, then potentially the child can spend time with the other parent as well, things like that. I've made this decision on my own, so literally I'm 100% the parent, so there's no opportunity for me just to give him to his dad or something. And so, well, I think this is probably one of the last trips that we go out in the evening until he's a bit older. So I will have to find babysitters from now on, but yeah. And there's a really good Facebook group as well, that if she's not already on, then get her. It's called Fertility Buddies. They're really, really, really supportive.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tracey. Awesome.